Hi there, welcome to the halftime. Oh, moved away. I've moved in one side. I will move myself back into the middle, sitting on the edge. There you go. Boom. Simple. Welcome to the halftime huddle. This is the weekly opportunity to spend a bit of time in the middle of the week thinking about what we can do to help ourselves get through the week. The premise of this is to start basically at the stage where beginning of the week we have great plans, great ideas, great thoughts about what we're going to do with the weekend. Life happens, or as they call shift happens, and you're in the middle of the week and hump day, and what the hell do you do? So this is basically a little bit of opportunity to take a breath in the middle of the week and just get ready and reassess for the second half. My name is Mark Webb. I run A Game Masterminds, where we give the opportunity for small business owners the chance to spend some quality time with their peers, helping them with things like, what do you do in the middle of the week, helping them with some of their challenges. Today, I want to ask you a simple question. There are a lot of books out there, a lot of self-help books, but and there are a couple of classics. And one of the classics I want to just ask you a little bit about is a book by Susan Jeffers called "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway." I came across a post earlier this week with a colleague of mine, a friend of mine, talking about confidence and helping that get through the fear. And I just wanted to thought would we explain a little bit and go through that a little bit ourselves. So first off, have you seen the book Feel the Fear? Have you read it? And I'd love to know whether you've read it in the comments below, and I'd also love to know what do you think about it? Is it a useful book or not a book? Does it stand the test of time? There are some things I think it does stand the test of time, but we can talk about that in the comments. One of the things that sort of comes across when we talk about feeling the fear is that this terminology we know where we use quite a lot is your comfort zone and stepping out of your comfort zone. But what is your comfort zone? What I just wanted to go a little bit of explain about it, and maybe Lennis will have some strategies to help you through this and start to think about why you have a comfort zone. Is it useful to stay in it, or should we step outside of it, and maybe how? So a little bit about why and what I think, and this is my explanation and my understanding. And again, this is alive, it's interactive. If you're around either now or in the replay, then I'd love to have a conversation around this as well. But this is my view of what a comfort zone is. It's one of the tricks is in the name. It's a comfortable place. It's a place where you're feeling you're in control. You're doing things you know how to do. You're coming across instances of things that you've been and done and seen before. It's a place where not really too much of a stretch. You're living sort of within your means. You're living within your ability to do the things that need to be done. And there's nothing to say the comfort zone isn't a great place to spend and a great place to live. And we're sort of wired to live in this comfort zone, this zone of we know what's in control, we know what's coming at us, we know what's ahead of us, because essentially we're hardwired to want to survive, and survival is about being in a place where you can control what's going on. It's minimizing the risk of danger and of death. The old adage of if you think a rustle in a bush is a saber-toothed tiger and you're scared about it, then you're more likely to survive if you don't and you walk into that saber-toothed tiger, even though you think, oh, that's exciting. Squirrel, as they say. So we're hardwired to keep ourselves safe. But the definition of safety has changed. The definition of safety in the old primeval times is life or death, physical pain and not physical pain, and that's changed. We no longer at the situation where necessarily we have to, for most of us at least, live day to day with the risk of death and danger and that kind of stuff. So it's changed a little bit. So our cost of staying safe is changed, and what is safe is changed. You want to talk about cost of saving, the modern day, everything's changing so quickly, everything's moving so quickly, that staying safe and staying stable and staying the same, staying where you are and in your little comfort zone of the skills you need, the things you need to control and the things you can do, is no longer necessarily the best approach to making the best out of your life. I mean, we've only got to look at the current trends in AI. There's AI is expanding and exploring all over the place. And if you say within your little comfort zone, those people who have stepped out and started to take advantage of it will be ahead of the curve. You'll miss your competitive advantage because you'll be falling behind. You'll stagnate, and these are all the benefit. The challenges from staying safe. Whereas growing out of your comfort zone, stepping out of the thing that you control, as you get the opportunity to learn new skills. You can investigate the AI tools. You don't have to take all of the advice out there. You can experiment with the various different things. You can learn different things about the new technologies coming along, the new ways people are doing things. And as you step out, your confidence grows. As you start to make small changes and small steps out of your comfort zone, you grow in confidence, and your comfort zone grows. The things that you are in control of, and the things you know how to do well, expands, and you then have a bigger comfort zone. And so, which is one of the truisms that comes from the Feel the Fear book, is there is always something new to fear. There is always something new. There is the comfort zone. As you grow, your comfort zone grows, and there is always outside of the comfort zone. One of the truisms that whatever you do, but essentially, the more you learn how to expand yourself and go into what potentially, let's call it the growth zone, the zone where you grow your comfort zone. The more you learn how to do that, the better you are to cope with the ups and downs of the world, and grow more resilience to the things that are going. For instance, me going live. When I first started, it was scary as bejesus. It was just sitting there in front of potentially a load of people who could be listening and judging me for being who I am, and how I sound, and the number of ers and ums I say, the way I look, all that kind of stuff. It's all really scary stuff. But by taking small steps, for instance, last November I rebooted the stuff by doing going a little live every day, not worrying too much about it, making no bones about being brilliant at it, but just taking small steps. So, that was definitely sort of an area where I had to step out of my comfort zone, and now my comfort zone's grown. So doing these things regularly, and finding ways of expanding this in certain ways is now where I'm at. So just a couple of ideas of the things you might do to start to step out of your comfort zone. If I've encouraged you to think that stepping out of your comfort zone is a good thing, if you're still a bit nervous about it, if you're still worried about whether it's the right thing to do, or whether you should stay in your zone of control, or whether it's good for you to move out of it. In some areas, maybe things aren't changing as quickly as you need to, so maybe you don't necessarily need to. But there are areas now, modern world is changing quite radically, quite quickly, that I would argue that staying in your comfort zone is no longer appropriate. So we have to find a way of actually stepping out and doing something about it. I've alluded to one of the things, talked about it when I talked about me going live. Small steps, doing a small little challenge, finding a safe way to take baby steps outside of your comfort zone. If there is something you want to grow and you want to learn how to do, what is the simplest way of learning how to do it? For instance, networking. If you're running a business, networking is a great way to expand the sort of people you're talking with, and a great way to start to grow your business by interacting with other businesses, potential new customers, potential new collaborators, potential new referral individuals and groups. And it, networking is a great way of doing it, but if you've never done it, it's quite daunting. So if you've never done any networking, maybe the first step is to go to a small local group. What's your networking group that's around the corner? Go and sort of spend, go to one of them where there's maybe 5, 10 people in the room, as opposed to a big conference where there's hundreds of people and maybe even thousands of people wandering around. Another step is to start to think about stretch goals. Set yourself goals that are going to pull you out of your comfort zone a little bit. They don't have to be big. You don't have to say, I'm going to double, treble, quadruple whatever I've done in the next 3 months, which means I'm going to have to do radically sort of scary, weird things. Unless you're an adrenaline junkie, then you just take little stretch goals. I would also encourage, if you're going to take little stretch goals, do use people around you. Set these goals in front of people so you can get the social pressure. Again, another book I would encourage, and I've encouraged you to look at this book a number of times, is Atomic Habits. Do chase it up. There's lots of really useful information in there about how to change your habits for more positive habits, and stretch goals and moving out of your comfort zone is essentially more or less the same thing. The other thing to think about, how to help yourself get out of out of your comfort zones, is to rethink what failure means. There's an idea floating around that you either win or you learn. To sort of process your thing way around the fact that failure isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a learning opportunity. I would argue that success and winning is also a learning opportunity. So essentially, I would argue that you need to start thinking it would be encouraging to start thinking in an experimental mindset. Essentially, there is no lose, there is no win, there is just the result of your experiment. And you learn from whether the result went right or the result gave you outputs that you weren't sort of sure about. So essentially, if you start to address all your little steps, your baby steps and your stretch goals outside of your comfort zone as a little mini experiments, then you take away some of the fear of the death or the pain or the failure that comes across with, if you don't get what you hoped for. If you're hoping for is getting some kind of learning out of it, then you will get learning out of it, whatever the result is. So you rethink failure. It's just, there's no lose. Another thing that will help you, and we talked about, as you do these things, you get more and more confident. Tracking your progress, tracking the things that you do, having a good way of recording what you've done, where the little mini steps out of your comfort zone have been. What are the things that have stretched you a little bit? What are the things that have made you feel a little bit more uncomfortable, and how you've done them? That kind of allows you to see where you've grown, where you've moved, what has happened when you've done these things, and the fact that you can look back and say, well, I've tried that before. It's no longer necessarily the scary thing it used to be. You get more confidence. And A-Game Masterminds, as part of parcel of what we do, I would encourage you definitely to follow this final step, is find a support system. And as A-Game Masterminds, I would suggest that one of the greatest support systems you can have behind you is a mastermind group of your peers. As a heads up, if you want to know more about the mastermind opportunities coming up for A-Game Masterminds, drop me a message, say hi, come and talk to me, find some time to have a chat, because with the support group of your peers, or group of mentors, or other kinds of communities where you can share some of the experiences and learn from other people's experiences, helps you move and stretch and pull your comfort zone. So this is just me today. I hope that's given you some strategies to help you stretch outside of your comfort zone a little bit, because that's, in my opinion, and I'd love to have a conversation with you if you think of something different. In my opinion, that's the best way to grow, and by growing, you can grow your business and your own personal personal strength and resilience. So I hope I've encouraged you that moving out of your comfort zone is something that we can all do. It's something that we all should be doing, and giving you a couple of strategies to help you go through that. Again, Halftime Huddle is every Wednesday. Hopefully you've enjoyed today. Hopefully the second half of your week will be a great half. I have been asking over the last couple of months of trying to do this for people who want to come along and have a chat. The next couple of months, we've got a couple of people coming, starting next week with Susanna Ray. I'm looking forward to having her come along and we can have a chat about her and her business, how she copes with the halftime hump, what she does about sort of keeping sort of the progress day to day. So and share about what her business is. So if you'd like to listen to that, it's this time next week with Susanna Ray. I'll send more information as we go along. And also on the back of that, if you'd love to come along, share some information about your business, have a chat about how you can step out of your comfort zone, how you can make sure that every week you're trying hard to keep focused and keep growing, then I'd love to hear and talk to you too. So please let me know. But in the meantime, have a great week, have a great second half, and I hope your second half is your best half. So see you next week.